Coming up on the College Fantasy Rain podcast, we're reviewing news coming out of fall football camps from around the country. Let's roll. Are you ready to reign in college fantasy football? College Fantasy Rain is your premier CFF resource with insights from a CFF pioneer. Secure your new reign. This is the College Fantasy Rain podcast, and you're listening to Fantasy Rain Rundown with Joe Arpasi. Welcome, everybody, to the College Fantasy Rain podcast. This is Fantasy Rain Rundown, our off-season podcast show. I'm your host, Joe Arpasi, and you can find all of my content at collegefantasyrain.com. I also would request, please follow this podcast over on YouTube and Spotify. And if you're over on X, give me a follow at CFR_Joe. That is where I get the most up-to-date information out to everybody. So definitely go over there and follow me on X. I'm going to kick things off with today's show with a few announcements as always. This whole off season, I have been mentioning these first few things, but this off season, I moved my website off of Substack. If you were following me or subscribed there, you will need to create a new user profile at my new website. Some of you guys, if you were not staying consistent on the website through late November, you would have known that as Let Purple Rain. In late November, I did a brand change to College Fantasy Rain, and that is the website where you can go, collegefantasyrain.com, create a new user login profile. That's the way that you'll be able to follow all my information and everything that's going on there. And over on the header of that new website, I have a link for a Discord channel that I've set up. It is absolutely free for anyone to use. It is for discussing anything, guys. You can discuss regular college football, college fantasy football. You can post an opening for the leagues that you're running, or if you're trying to find a league, you can put a post in there. I also have a thread where I'm asking for questions that people want to submit here for the Fantasy Rain Rundown mailbag portion of the show. And any other announcements, things, I will be using that a lot like the messaging system that Substack had. So go join in there. It's completely free. I also want to mention, since we are in the heat of draft season, that my 2026 CFF Draft Guide is out. It is almost 300 pages, and it's got everything that you need to be prepared for your upcoming CFF drafts. People who purchase the Draft Central subscription pass or the All-American subscription pass will get this draft guide included with that subscription purchase. If you don't want to become a premium subscriber, that is totally fine. I do have a link set up where you can purchase it individually without subscribing. And for today's show, we are going to kick things off by talking about the Battle for the Belt League that I am hosting, and we are going to select the final batch of lucky premium subscribers, and I threw in a couple of free subscribers in there today to see if maybe some of you guys get lucky, but for subscribers to try and enter this league. Like I said, this is the third and final drawing that I am doing. And then we'll transition to the main topic of today's show, Fall Camp Quick Hitters. It is a fast-paced review of injury updates and position battle news that's coming out of fall camps. And normally I would end the show with mailbag time. Did not have any questions submitted to me either in the Discord or on X. So if any of you follow me on X, I will be posting threads where you can, in the comments, put in any questions for the show. So now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's dive into some college fantasy football. And as I said, we're going to start things off with the league that I am happy to be hosting, which is the second annual Battle for the Belt 52-Man League Challenge. The draft for this league will be broadcast live on YouTube on Sunday, August 23rd at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Joining me this year as special contestants are John Lobb from Rookie Big Board, Profile Builder, and Fantrax, Josh Chevalier from Fantasy Points, and Chris Battistel from the Chasing the Natty podcast. This is a great group of special contestants that are joining me this year, and I want to give a special shout out to both of this league's sponsors, Fantrax is the host sponsor for the league, as we'll be playing out this unique league on their website. Fantrax allows for so many different custom league builds that they were the perfect fit to be our host sponsor. And Arm Championship Belts is the sponsor that's providing the championship belt, which will be awarded to the winner of this league. For those of you that are watching on Spotify, you can see a picture of the belt. I have it all over the website as well. They do an amazing job designing custom belts, and it's going to be awesome. It's even better than last year's, guys. And I am going to now transition us for drawing the final names here. And as I'm kind of getting all my notes and things set up, bear with me here. I'm going to be doing the third and final drawing. When we're done, this league will have 48 subscribers that have gotten invites. If anyone has not claimed their invitation by Sunday, 8/16, August 16th, I'm going to repeat that again, by Sunday, the 16th, I'll conduct one extra drawing on next week's Diary of a Draftman show. That's just kind of the bare minimum of what I would like. It might happen. I may not need to do it, but just in case, I'm going to call that out. So let's transition us over here to the next screen where I can do the draw. And we'll go ahead and get things started here. Just going to randomly be selecting names. I just got to keep track as we go. Joseph, I'm going to completely butcher your last name. As all of you guys know, I'm so great with names, but congratulations, Joseph. Jake Silt, our next winner. Blake Gilchrist is our next winner. Adam, is it Foa? Fow? Congratulations. Tim Larson, our next winner. David Patton, congratulations. We're about 1/3 of the way through this final drawing for the league. Andrew Braslow, excuse me. You're in the league, buddy. All right. Our next winner is Michael Laney. My pen's dying on me over here. John Curlow, congratulations. Adam Progler is our next winner. About 2/3 of the way through here now. Brandon Tritt, congratulations. Austin Bennett is our next winner. Matt Lappensee, congratulations. My pen's completely dying on me, guys. Ian Tanner, congratulations here. Sorry, my pen is just dying out, and I got to keep track of how many I'm doing here. 1, 2, 3. All right. Hopefully I didn't miscount that here. Josh Borsellino, congratulations. We got, I think, 3 more to draw. Or 2 more, I believe. Yeah, 2 more. Jim, and we're kind of down to the last name if you haven't noticed on the screen. Jeff Levy, congratulations. Those are all of our winners here. You guys are going to get an entry into the league. I want to say congratulations to all of you guys, and you will get invitation emails that will come from Fantrax to the email that you have listed on my website. I'll be sending those out tomorrow. I'll be sending those out tomorrow for you guys, which would be Friday. So keep your eyes posted. And any of you that were in previous drawings, if I've seen that you've not accepted your invite, I will continue to send out invite emails along with this new group here. And like I said, please, guys, if you're getting an email from Fantrax, please accept the invitation by Sunday. If I need to do other drawings for names, I'm going to have to do it then. So please go ahead and accept those invitations here. And now that I'm getting everything else in line, I'm going to move on to the main show here, the main topic of the day. I'm still just kind of getting my stuff organized. I apologize, guys. Now, here we are. We're starting off with the main show, which is going to be our injury updates. I'm going to take a drink of water before we start going through these. Oh no, I just realized I have the wrong window up. Oh, we're going to fix this on the fly, guys. Let me see here. Bear with me for one quick second. All right, and I bet you the next screen's wrong too, so let me take a look at that. It is. We'll fix that real quick as well. All right. We are good now. We are fixed. Don't you love having to do some of these little things on the fly? Thanks for sticking through that, guys, here. Like I said, fall camp quick hitters. What I did in the past, I did this as a written article. Now I'm just going to be incorporating it here into the College Fantasy Reign podcast episodes. Here, I'm just going to be going through really fast and just mentioning different teams and players for injury updates for this first segment that have come out. Like I said, I'm going to take one more sip of water. We're going to go through and fly through these. That's why we call them quick hitters. But start off with Air Force. Quarterback Liam Sarska. He had an injured arm. He has been cleared for fall camp. Over at Arizona, running back Kendrick Risano, who has an undisclosed injury. He has returned and is participating. Over at BYU, running back LJ Martin, who's had a shoulder injury. He has been cleared for full participation for fall camp. California tight end Mason Minnie, who was dealing with an undisclosed injury, is participating in drills. Over at Charlotte, QB Billy Edwards, who's been dealing with a knee injury, he has returned to practice. At Clemson, wide receiver Bryant Westco, who's been dealing with a neck issue, he has been medically cleared prior to fall camp, which is a good sign. At Colorado, wide receiver Danny Scudero, he has been wearing a walking boot all fall camp long from a foot injury, and so far he has not been practicing. Wide receiver Joseph Williams, who had a leg issue, is back and practicing right now. At Colorado State, running back Darrell Robinson, who had an undisclosed injury that kept him out of the spring. He has been seen on the practice field here in the fall. At Florida, wide receiver Dallas Wilson has been cleared for fall camp. At Florida Atlantic, QB Caden Veltkamp, who is dealing with a shoulder issue, has been cleared for fall camp here. At Florida State, running back Usman Chroma. I'm so good with names, guys. He spent time at the start of fall camp being limited to non-contact drills only. And running back Trey Wisner, who's had an undisclosed issue, he's been held out of the team's first scrimmage from fall camp. Over at Georgia Southern, wide receiver Dallas Wilson, who has a hip injury, is back and practicing again. At Georgia Tech, transfer wide receiver Isaiah Furman, who was dealing with an undisclosed injury, is now participating in fall camp. At Hawaii, quarterback Micah Alahado has returned to practice, and wide receiver Pofeli Ashlock is dealing with an undisclosed injury and will miss a portion of fall camp. At Illinois, wide receiver Hudson Clement is dealing with an undisclosed injury, and he was limited to non-contact work at the start of fall camp. At Indiana, running back Lee Beebe has been cleared to participate in fall camp. At Kentucky, running back Cedric Baxter, who has a knee issue, looks to be fully healthy. Running back Javante Barnes, who has an undisclosed injury, is participating in fall camp. And wide receiver Nick Anderson, who also has an undisclosed injury, he has not been cleared to play for the start of fall camp. Over at Liberty, quarterback Ethan Vasco, who also has an undisclosed injury, has returned to practice. At LSU, quarterback Sam Levitt, his foot looks fully healthy and he's ready for fall camp. At Louisiana, wide receiver Shelton Sampson has missed multiple practices with a knee injury. There's no timetable for when he'll be able to return. At Louisville, running back Isaac Brown has missed practices with an undisclosed injury. Sometimes he's missing practice. Sometimes he's just doing drill work on the side and non-contact. It's kind of a daily developing thing right now. At Missouri, running back Ahmad Hardy, who was shot in the leg over the summer, he has been cleared for physical activities. but the team is giving no timetable on when he'll be cleared to start practicing with the team. At Mississippi, running back Kewan Lacey had a shoulder procedure done in the offseason, but he has been cleared for full participation. At North Texas, running back Jaheim White, who suffered a knee injury, is practicing and moving well. At Notre Dame, wide receiver Quincy Porter, who has a kneecap issue, has been restricted to limited participation at the start of fall camp. At Oregon, wide receiver Evan Stewart looks ready to participate in fall camp. At Penn State, quarterback Rocco Beck, who has a shoulder issue, has been cleared for the start of practice. And wide receiver Brett Elkiston has a shoulder injury, and he has been seen participating and looks ready for the season. At San Diego State, wide receiver Jordan Napier, who had a knee injury, he is wearing a brace, but he is a full participant in practice. At San Jose State, wide receiver Malachi Riley, who has a lower body issue, he has been active in practice. At SMU, quarterback Kevin Jennings suffered a finger injury, and he will be limited for 1 to 2 weeks of action. Right now, Ty Hawkins is taking the first team reps in his place. At South Alabama, wide receiver Anthony Eager, who had a hand issue, is back and participating in camp. At TCU, wide receiver Jordan Dwyer, who had a foot injury, has been practicing and making big plays in fall camp. At Tennessee, tight end Ethan Davis has been missing practice time with an undisclosed injury. At Texas, quarterback Arch Manning, who had a foot issue, is practicing in fall camp here. At Texas Tech, quarterback Will Hammond, who has a knee injury, is wearing a brace but fully participating in practices. And running back Quentin Joyner has been fully cleared to participate in camp. This one was brand new. I forgot to update it in my notes here, guys. Give me a minute. I'd like to pull it up. At the start of camp, Jeremy McClure, who had a shoulder injury, he said he felt healthy, was looking good before fall camp started. And then news had just come out around when I was filming this year, while I was filming, and I want to find it. Sorry. So Jeremy McClure, he is out with an injured foot. He's not practicing. He's on a schooner. They said that he should be back in the early season, but it's not necessary to have him healthy for the opener against Duke because they do feel like they have a deep running back room. So this is a bigger injury of concern with Jeremy McClure and this brand new foot injury that was just popped up. Getting back to the rapid fire nature, Virginia Tech running back Marcellus Hawkins, who had an undisclosed injury in the spring, is fully healthy and practicing. At UCF, quarterback Alonzo Barnett, who had a knee injury, was practicing in fall camp and looks to be fully healthy. At UCLA, running back Wayne Knight, who's dealing with an undisclosed issue, was spotted participating in drills. At UNLV, quarterback Alex Orji, who had a knee injury, has finished his rehab and is practicing. At USC, running back Wayman Jordan, who has both a knee and ankle issue, he is still working through rehab, and the coaches are unsure if he'll be cleared for week 1. And wide receiver Tanook Hines, he is participating in fall camp, but only in a limited fashion. Virginia, wide receiver Trell Harris, who had a knee injury, is practicing in fall camp. At Washington, running back Jordan Washington, who has a neck injury, will likely miss the entire 2026 season. And running back Jaden Lamar, who had an ankle issue, has been cleared to practice in fall camp. That is all of our injury updates here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take another sip of water as we transition into talking about some position battle news that's been coming out. And we'll do the same thing. I'm going to keep this kind of rapid fire, guys. I might throw a little bit of extra information in there, but this is really kind of the quick way for you guys to get as much information in a short period of time every week about what's going on in fall camps. I like what we're doing time-wise with the recording as well. Let's kick things off with these position battles by going to Alabama. Quarterbacks Keelan Russell and Austin Mack received praise for the improvements that they've made since spring camp, but there's no indication of who is leading the competition and when a starter will be named. Running back A.K. Deere has built upon a strong summer and is making a push for a competition and trying to get his name in that running back 1, running back 2 battle. Over at Arizona, running back Ishmael Mahdi has been granted an extra year of eligibility, and he is back with the team. Wide receiver Isaiah Mizell has been a standout so far in fall camp. At Arizona State, running back Kyson Brown looks to be establishing himself as the running back 1. At Arkansas, running back Braylon Russell took more snaps with the first team offense than Sutton Smith did. Sutton Smith is just taking more reps in the number 1 spot, like during individual drills right now. At Auburn, running back Jeremiah Cobb looks to be securing the starting running back job, but it's likely that multiple running backs will be used in some form of a rotation or committee. And at wide receiver, the starting wide receivers at the start of fall camp were Keyshawn Singleton at the X position, Chaz Nimrod at the Z or flanker, and Deshaun Spencer in the slot. At Charlotte, running back Benjamin Hall looks to be in line to win the starting running back job. At Clemson, the QB battle between Christopher Vizina and Tate Reynolds is extremely tight and may run quite a while. At Duke, quarterback Walker Eggett and Dan Mahan are dueling it out for the starting job. No indication right now on who is leading. At Kentucky, running back Tozani Mizell has been a standout in fall camp, but I'm not sure quite yet where he's fitting in on the depth chart, since we do have those other 2 running backs that I mentioned in Baxter and Barnes, who are now healthy and starting to compete. But this could be a third name to look out for, and maybe just a dreaded 3-back approach for Kentucky this year. At Louisiana Tech, quarterback Blake Baker has been named the starting quarterback. At LSU, running back Dylan Jones appears to be widening his lead for the starting running back job. The wide receivers that were running with the first team offense at the start of fall camp were Jace Brown, Jackson Harris, and Winston Watkins. And tight end Trades Green has been impressive all throughout fall camp so far. At New Mexico State, quarterback Trey Hayden has been named the starting quarterback. At North Carolina, quarterback Miles O'Neal took most of the reps with the first team offense, while Billy Edwards was with the second team offense. At North Texas, quarterback Taven Jackson is getting strong competition from Chris Jimerson. At Notre Dame, running back Jonas Walton appears to be locking up the running back 2 job. That is important because the running back 2 does get decent carries in that offense. At Ohio State, running back Bo Jackson has been running with the second team offense, while Isaiah West, Legend Bay, and Jacoby Jackson have been rotating in with the first string. I'm just going to say this now to give some extra commentary. I don't have any insight on why we're seeing this. My hunch could be that the coaches have told Bo, hey, we want to see who the best guy is to back you up, but we need to see them with that starting offensive group. We're going to put you with the second team, but we're not demoting you. That is my guess for what this situation likely is. I can't see Bo Jackson going from the top returning running back to running back 4, but I could see these 3 other guys who are all competing to be the main change of pace back getting the time with the first offense to see who fits in best. But that's my assumption, guys. I will say maybe wait a little bit on, or if you're going to draft Bo Jackson, make him your running back 2, not your running back 1. This has been kind of big catchy news for a lot of people worried that he's not going to be the starter, but you heard my insight on the situation. Now back to the fast-paced nature here. At Oregon, running back De'Aaron Hill, he will have a bigger role in the offense this fall. This could be not quite sure, but the coaches are really liking him. It's interesting. I think he's one of these guys. He has the potential to be their running back one in the second half of the season. So I do think while this is a short note that I'm making, I'm going to throw in the extra commentary. Hill, and I'm doing re-rankings. It should be out sometime next week. I think Hill's going to shoot up my rankings quite a bit here. Over at Penn State, running back Carson Hansen is the clear front runner for the starting running back job. At Pittsburgh, running back Desmond Reed is looking to rejoin the team for one last season of eligibility, which he's been granted. At SMU, running back Kendrick Raphael looked impressive at the start of fall camp, but it is expected that he's going to be a part of a 1-2 punch with Dremeco Green. Coaches are expecting big things from wide receiver Yamar Knight, who looks to be the solid wide receiver one. Wide receiver Yannick Smith needs to be more consistent in his play. I've seen a number of notes about that. And the outside wide receiver positions are still being competed for, but Jalen Hale and Jalen Cooper are the people that the beat writers are expecting to win those two outside receiver jobs. At TCU, quarterback Jaden Craig was taking all the first-team reps at the start of fall camp. At Texas A&M, wide receiver Terry Busey has been a standout throughout all of fall camp, and it's looking like he's securing the wide receiver 4 position. I know there's a lot of buzz about him, but he's not like someone who's going to challenge the 1 or 2 spot. At Texas Tech, running back Jacoby Williams will be used in both the backfield and in the slot. At UCF, wide receiver Dwayne Thomas has been a major standout all throughout fall camp. At UNLV, the quarterback competition is actually tight here. Since Alex Orji has been practicing again, he is making a strong push to become the QB1 over Jackson Arnold, and Jackson Arnold has not been able to pull away from Orji at all yet. So keep your eye on this one. Jackson Arnold right now just might be a do not draft player. For a lot of you, I'm pretty sure he was already on your list, but I just want to throw that one out there as well. Over at Virginia, quarterback Bo Prabula has been named the starting quarterback. Wide receiver Jaquan Gibson is trending to be the starting slot wide receiver. Running backs, and over at Virginia, still at Virginia. I apologize, guys. Running back Jaquil Middlebrook has taken over the starting running back job. It's still unclear how the carries are going to be divided between him and Peyton Lewis. So we're not calling a bell cow yet, but Middlebrook has taken it over and people expect him to hold on to the running back 1 job. Over at Washington, running back Quade Carr is running with the first team offense, and the starting 3 wide receivers at the start of fall camp are Desmond Roebuck, Rashid Williams, and Christian Moss. At Western Kentucky, wide receiver Musa Berry has been granted an extra year of eligibility, and he is back on the team. At West Virginia, QB Michael Hawkins is now leading the race for the starting quarterback job. And at Wisconsin, quarterback Colton Joseph has looked impressive in fall camp against the Wisconsin defense. Do not put too much into that he's going to look impressive against all these other Big Ten defenses, but it is at least one positive sign for him here. And I'm just going to sit here and say, that is it for today's show for Fantasy Rain Rundown. Once again, please follow the show on YouTube and Spotify if you are not already. I want to thank all of you that watched. I want to thank everyone that is subscribed to the podcast and that is subscribed over at College Fantasy Rain. Thanks for joining the College Fantasy Rain podcast. Your CFF Rain starts here.